Hi, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is an unpackaging video thanks to Jonathan Lindsey. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. I did open the box, but I have not looked at it yet. I wasn't sure on showing the box because I did not want to accidentally show an address or anything of the guy. But Jonathan Lindsey's been a very kind, generous guy. So I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm just going to close my eyes. And oh, wow. And then he's got a piece of paper. I haven't looked at it yet. In fact, you guys will know before me what it is. So, oh wow, nice. We got 5 movies. We got The Princess Bride. I think I already have this on Blu-ray though. I believe I do. But still nice to have an extra copy just in case. So I will definitely hold on to it. I do like the film, but yeah, I do believe I have this on Blu-ray, but it's still a very generous gift. Yeah, it's a fun film by Rob Reiner. A fairy tale type of story, which I know was kind of a basis for that Deadpool 2 PG-13 Once Upon a Time Christmas, whatever the hell it was. Second off is a film that I really look forward to rewatching. I was just thinking about this the other day. This is a Blu-ray that sadly they did not put any features on, which is BS, but that's what happens. But yeah, this is one of my favorite Christmas films, Scrooged. Really enjoy Scrooged. Again, one of my favorite Christmas films. Again, sadly no features, but very cool to have this. Thank you so much for that. Very cool. I really do appreciate that. Next up is a film called Deepwater Horizon. And this is the back. Mark Wahlberg, Kurt Russell, John Malkovich, Gina Rodriguez, Kate Hudson. Directed by Peter Berg, based on a true story. Oil rig, April 2010. One of the greatest man-made disasters in U.S. history. Yeah, Kurt Russell, John Malkovich. Yeah, Deepwater Horizon. Interesting. Thank you for that. Next up. Oh, that's nice. I actually only had this on DVD now that I think about it, so I did not have the Blu-ray, and it does have the features from the DVD. It was a lot of features, but it was the commentary with Chris Columbus and Macaulay Culkin, making up from Back to the Day, Home Alone. So, Christmas classic. Very nice gift. Thank you so much for that. And I'm very glad to have this. One of my favorites of the year. A film that I think deserved a lot more than it got. I think it got a bad rap. I really look forward to rewatch this again. Not everyone's cup of tea, but Malignant. I really enjoyed it. It's like a giallo slasher mixed in with basket case, which I loved. That concept, I love the combination. I think it's very well directed. I thought it was a very cool, very fun. This to me is an 80s type of film done right without copying the entire ending of Ghostbusters for their Ghostbusters. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites of the year. I'm glad to have this. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And when he has sent me stuff, he's asked me to read his letter, so I definitely will. Dear Matt, hope you enjoy these gifts. I definitely do. Thank you so much for that. I saw Malignant in theater September in Las Lunas when I had Halloween dinner at my mom's house, where a friend of the family from Berlin visited mom, and we had mac and cheese, cheese tater tots, shrimp, and frog legs dinner. I could never eat frog legs. I would just want to puke. And watch Malignant in pay-per-view as they enjoy the movie. Very cool. On Ghostbusters Afterlife, do you think it's no worse than Ghostbusters 2016? And on your end, what makes 2016's Ghostbusters 18 Ballbusters no different? I don't. I think they both suck ass. You don't think 2016 killed the franchise? I think they both did. That's one of my... I think they both suck. That's my point. I think they both are awful movies in different avenues. Alien 3 is technically a better film in terms of music, cinematography, the acting by Charles Dutton, Sigourney Weaver. Alien 3 is a technically well-made movie. Well, aside from the really crappy alien... They're not CG, but whatever the hell that effect is. But I hate that fucking film. I hate its story. I hate its editing issues, because all this behind-the-scenes shenanigans. But I hate what it did to this film. I hate that film more. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Ghostbusters 2016 is an awful piece of shit. I stand by every word I've said about that movie. But Afterlife I hate a bit more because it's canon, and it says, you think Edon can rot in hell is worse than shooting the logo on the balls? Yes, because Edon is an actual person. The logo is not a real person. Edon was played by an actual person. Edon means more to Ghostbusters than the logo. That's my point. The logo, shooting them in the balls, was a stupid, unfunny joke. Haha, we're women, look what we did to a guy. What they did with Edon, can rot in hell, to me that's more insulting as a fan. Because you turn Edon into, he was correct, but a batshit, insane, loony bin, out in the middle of nowhere, who lived his last dying days alone, without family, without his friends, and for some reason could not just record on a fucking phone, fly, drive, skateboard, parachute, hang glide, back to where Ray was and show him the footage on this technology called a phone. Hey, I got all these proton packs. Zzz. I could film that shit, and what's that shit going to the sky? I could film that and walk my ass to Ray stands and show him. But no. You think both are so-called love letters but hate letters? Yes, I do think both are hate letters. The people who claim to be fans of Critters, Ghostbusters, He-Man, and more are fake fans who are just trying to catch on a franchise for nostalgia. Honestly, yes. They don't truly love the movies, but truly hate them. I think... You look at Jason Reitman's other films, none of them were like Ghostbusters. He even said he does not make films usually like this. And he has said he's had issues with his dad in the past. And it's not... I don't think, in truthfulness, he hates Ghostbusters. I think he looks at it in a different way than me and other people do. I think he wanted to put a bit of his own fucking father, Dr. Phil shit in there. The Critters fan film Bounty Hunter has more passion than the new... Yeah, Critters the new cringe? Yeah, it did. Lisa felt like a true love letter made by someone who loves the franchise, unlike a new cringe, aka a new binge. Yeah, I agree. You want to see the originals as they were fine the way they were? Yeah, absolutely. Do you think Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, Blade Runner 2049 are exceptions, as they were made by talented people with true passion and talent who actually care about the classics? Honestly, yes. In the documentary for the Dark Crystal show, it shows that some of the actors, actresses, and makers are actual fans of the movie. Taron Egerton, who voiced Rian, said he grew up with Dark Crystal Labyrinth as he was passionate about doing the show. Even the voice of the Sifron gal who helped Elder, 39 years old, like me, she said she grew up with Jim Henson stuff as she sees it as a fascinating world that could be expanded, and she even said as the point of the show to expand on the story. Louis Leterrier, which I didn't even know he was involved with it. That's the guy who did The Incredible Hulk or the 2010 Clash of the Titans. Did say he's been a fan of the movie since he was a kid, seeing it 3 times in cinema in his country of France. It's one of the inspirations to being a filmmaker. Project began as a sequel to the movie since the 2000s, but he was never made. But the sequel screenplay has been made into a graphic novel recently. Well, again, I think the show's okay. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. In 2017, they thought of a prequel series despite there was a trilogy of graphic novel prequels in the early 2010s. The episode of the show does reveal the origin of Sketsis and Midstone. Pretty much he's talking about the show. Stilech is quite a disgusting character. Is that the one Aquafina voice that just had her snot all over the place? Yeah, she was pretty gross. I don't think you needed that. The show has an awesome predator-like Sketsis called the Hunter, as he's a fantastic character who also has an archer mystic counterpart. Okay. Nothing is retconned on the show as it takes place after the creation myths graphic novels and 30 years before the movie. That was idea in Eden. Yeah, that was a crazy moment. But no, it's not graphic, no. He was a longtime fan of the movie, was 4. Even with the graphic novels, I was surprised by the show and its unique prequel. I just don't think you need a prequel. I think a sequel would have been better. Because a prequel, you already know how it's going to end. That's my issue with a lot of prequels. Nice cast, amazing use of sets, minimal CGI, practical effects is a visual feast. I agree with that. Even Blade Runner 2049 was made by someone who truly respects and loved the 1982 film. Cared for Deckard, didn't pull a Bill and Ted 3 or Last Jedi on Deckard. I'm very glad for that. I agree with that. That's one of the reasons I love Blade Runner 2049, and I like it more than the original. I'm sorry, I like the original, but I like the sequel more. I think Ryan Gosling had more to do as a Blade Runner. He was a more competent Blade Runner. I get that was the character of Deckard. He was a fuck up, and that was the point. Is that he's having all these issues, so it makes us feel sorry for the character, relate to the character more, but it just made me go, wow, this is a shitty Blade Runner. How the hell did he get the job? And that's why I also don't buy that he's a replicant, because he is weaker than everybody in the movie. He's weaker than the women. He's weaker than the guys. Sean Young had to save him. He had to shoot one in the back. So I'm like, how the hell is he a replicant if he's weaker? Why would you send a replicant to kill these things, but you send a replicant that is so much weaker and incompetent that he should have died like 5 times? But I do like the original Blade Runner. I didn't grow up with that film as much as other people did. No, they're not soulless, passionless cash grabs, no. Genuine from the heart, yeah, I agree. Okay. Nice reviews on Animaniacs, Batman the Animated Series, Dark Crystal series, and Home Alone commentary. Says you enjoyed Animaniacs, this hot, bedeviled, insane episode, one of your fave episodes, along with the Hollywood Party 1. The Hollywood Party 1 would probably be my favorite. Ron Perlman was great as Satan's voice. Yeah, he did a good job. Minerva Mink is quite sexy for a furry chick. It's not my cup of tea, but to each their own. Mona Lisa Lizard Women from Ninja Turtles, Angel and Rock and Rule, Lola Bunny. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with anyone finding furry chicks or alien chicks or cyborg chicks or immune chicks or magical creature chicks attractive. Like I said, to each their own. Do you think Mona, Angel, and Lola are better characters who have personality, less shallow, and better attitudes and are likable? Well, compared to what? Like you said, better characters. Like, but compared to what, though? Funny how you said on Minerva, this is where furries come from. You're forgetting that other stuff did it first, before Minerva. Cleo on Heathcliff, MRS and Star Trek, Robin Hood, Ninja Turtles, Tailspin. Well, no. What I meant by that is that it was very sexual too. Like Mona Lisa, I don't know. Like Minerva Ming actually literally was like wanting to bang wall to wall. That's not to say they were. I don't know. Is the Christmas Terror episode one of your favorite episodes? Um, the Christmas Terror episode? No, honestly, no. That's probably if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's one of my least favorites. If it's the one I'm thinking of, episode-wise. Willy's Wonderland is an awesome movie, my favorite movie of the year. It was something different, fresh, and fun. Willy's Wonderland, Nobody, Suicide Squad 2, Malignant. I enjoyed all those. Quiet Place 2, Conjuring 3 managed to make quality escapist entertainment that stays out of woke SJW agenda, pandering, virtue signaling, but what audiences want. Candyman 2021 I unfortunately saw in the local theater with Mom, who liked the original. We both thought it sucked and was Black Lives Matter propaganda. I agree with that. Nice commentary on Home Alone. Thank you, I appreciate it. That movie's a classic. I loved since I was 8. Seeing it 3 times in theaters. It's been one of my favorite movies and Christmas movies and comedies. The new movie... oh, yeah, the new Home Alone movie sucked dick. Indeed. They should just let the franchise die. Should have stopped at part 2. Let's move on to make new creativity and juices like Willy's Wonderland, Mandy, Nobody, John Wick, Quiet Place, so on. Feels fresh and audiences supporting fresh new franchises like Conjuring, John Wick, Quiet Place. Yeah, when they do stuff like that, that's where I'm more happy with. Not saying I'm against every sequel. There could be a sequel that comes out, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not against every sequel coming out. I'm not. It's just, not every fucking film needs a sequel. And not every fucking film needs a reboot. Do you think they're different in the mainstream than another pointless remake of a classic like Poltergeist, another found footage movie? Well, I like some found footage films, so it depends on that. Or another sequel, prequel, reboot to a dead franchise that should stay dead, like Chainsaw Massacre, Scream, Elm Street. Well, yeah, I mean, I want something new, but if a sequel comes out and does a good job, like the Suicide Squad 2, like hopefully John Wick 4, hopefully Jackass 4 next year, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I'm open to sequels. And again, with found, I actually like some found footage. And some like fake documentaries. I would call them mockumentaries, but that seems like it'd be more for comedies. But yeah, that's actually some on my top 10 list when I do that in a week or two. Funny how you said in the commentary on Lethal Weapon when Mel said that certain F-bomb that isn't fuck, and you said that word, that would never fly today or you'd be canceled. How hypocritical of the extremist Marxist liberals to think some older movies like Monster Squad are problematic, yet they praise a disgusting, truly unacceptable, sick piece of kitty porn garbage like Cuties as brave and bold. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't get it either. I agree. The whole buy Superman thing is just a cheap wolf ploy. They will expect low sales, while independent comics and manga are selling because they don't bend the knee to the woke crowd. Well, yeah, I don't think that comic did well anyway, so it didn't work out for them. So this is what he says in Jonathan Lindsey. Remember that Simpsons classic episode Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie, whom it's about how executives at Roger Meyer Studios thought of a hip character that speaks to the 90s generation, that would be the next best thing. However, fans of Itchy and Scratchy in the show hated the character as it got backlash. Even comic book store guy, the studio within the show realized they were losing money due to Poochie and decided to get rid of him. It shows you don't mess with the classic formula, and Poochie within the show is a soulless byproduct of committee thinking as in real life. Same thing happened in real life with New Coke in 1985 or woke pandering things, and I have another thing to say to the companies. But before I get into that, yeah, I do remember that episode. That's happened forever on TV. I remember the Brady Bunch. When they added, was it Oliver? Which I think actually was played by Robbie Wrist. And Brady Bunch, they had this little kid. It was played by a young Robbie Wrist who would become Michelangelo, the voice of him in the 90s Ninja Turtles films. And that's when it's like, oh god, they added this kid. It wasn't the kids' fault, just the writing and all sorts of stuff. I have another thing to say to the companies. Your movie or game or show or comic isn't failing. I think you mean is failing. Isn't the fans' fault. It's your fault. When you're in the professional business of making entertainment, the goal is to make the fans happy. By that, you need to give what they want. Give what they want and treat them nicely. That means don't go turn their favorite characters into shadows of their former selves like studios did to Bill and Ted and Luke Skywalker. Don't go to taking a story about someone and making it about someone else, a la Kevin Smith's He-Man. Don't go changing a beloved character's ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender. It's better to make an original character if you're going for diversity. Don't go making Gary Stews or Mary Sues. Don't go belittling, insulting your fans, criticizing your work, calling them racist, sexist, or whatever it is. It won't earn you money or popularity. Don't go putting modern politics into a franchise that isn't about politics for people. Go to entertainment for escapism, not to be reminded of the horrors of the real world. Follow these real companies, and hopefully you won't see a dent in profits. Even by then, fans are obligated not to give you money if they don't want to. They have the right to their opinions, interesting, and they can always spend their money somewhere else if your work isn't to their liking. Yeah, that's true. It's a good thing that this SJW woke cancel culture virtual signaling nonsense is finally getting a backlash in places like Subways. Some American schools and Red Bull are stepping up to the woke nonsense. After realizing they are losing money due to pandering in our backyard by firing woke teachers, businessmen, businesswomen, and all. I didn't know that. What did Subway do? What did Red Bull do? I don't know anything about this. Hopefully more companies will follow and do the same thing. Thankfully, wokeness is slowly dying a very slow, painful poison death gradually now that the masses are finally waking up to the absurdity of it all. Finally, this bullshit is getting beaten up by those who are against virtual signaling, cancel culture, woke SJW garbage. Slowly, some companies are waking up and realizing they are losing profits. They'll eventually change their tune, otherwise go woke, go broke, or join the woke mob. Lose your job. Eventually, this woke nonsense will die eventually. In the middle of the decade, we'll have another late 70s, 80s, 90s again in entertainment, even in no social media policy and companies. History always repeats itself. In the late 60s and early 70s, there were problems with external leftists and the riots. The answers to those things were masculine action movies and escapist sci-fi fantasy movies like Superman, Star Wars, Close Encounters, Alien, and more. Yet you have to remember that in the 70s, there was a trend of feminist and blaxploitation movies. Some of those in the past were quite good, unlike the crowd we get now, as they had some entertainment value. As it was big for a while, then diminishing box office returns came in and the trend died off, and then masculine action movies and escapist sci-fi fantasy movies returned. And in the middle of the decade, we'll have pure entertainment again and a new renaissance in comics, video games, movies, and shows, and all the woke agenda nonsense be forgotten, to rot in obscurity, to be shuttered again, will age badly in the years to come. As they say, strong men and strong women make good times make weak men and women, weak men and women. Strong men and women make good times. Good times make weak men and women. Weak men and women make sad times. Sad times create strong men and women. As the late 70s and 90s was good times, and the 2000s created weak men and women, even sad times, and now strong men and strong women are rising out of the ashes of sad times. As good times will return, it's a cycle that always happens every century. I enjoyed the new Mortal Kombat animated film. It was better than the 2021 live action. Is the Liu Kang movie one of your favorite movies this year? Yeah, it's in the top 10. Is Home Alone 6 your worst movie of the year? It's not the worst. It's in the top 10. Eternals, I'm glad I didn't pay a dime to see in theaters, but saw Antlers and Las Lunas. That earned my money for something different. Actually, I've heard Antlers was pretty bad. Suicide Squad I saw in theaters and it was great. It was pure escapist entertainment that isn't woke agenda. Well, to me, a movie isn't good just because it's not woke. It has to be good on other merits too. Woke is just an annoying bullshit they're doing nowadays on top of making bad films. Great commentary on The Crow. Thank you. I saw it in theaters age 12. Loved it since even have the graphic novel and CD soundtrack I had since 1994. It was sad what happened to Brandon Lee, by which the studio wasn't cheap and made sure the gun was safe to shoot blanks and not cut corners by not checking when Brandon Lee then Brennan Lee would not have died. Do you think Top Dollar is a disgusting fuck because he bangs his half-sister? Well, yeah. And he murdered people. I mean, he's a great villain despite being an incest guy. Nice hottest women of Friday the 13th list. Oh yeah, I forgot I made that list. So you thought Batman Mudslide was a decent Clayface episode? Yeah. Is Off Balance one of your favorite episodes? Shadow of the Bat one of your favorite episodes? I'm trying to remember what those episodes were. They were decent. I mean, I don't know if they'd be like top 10 favorites, but they were decent. The show treats Batgirl with respect, better than Batman and Robin. Yeah, I agree with that. Does think the Schumacher films didn't, nor the Nolan movies didn't. Well, the Nolan films didn't have Batgirl. And you could say they barely had a Robin. Bane, Scarecrow, Two-Face, Poison Ivy. Yeah. You and Mike are like Cisco and Ebert at YouTube. I see you as Gene Cisco and Mike like Roger Ebert. Happy holidays, John. I don't want to be Gene Cisco. I don't want to be Gene Cisco. I want to be Roger Ebert. Roger Ebert likes Leviathan. I want to be Roger Ebert. I don't want to be Gene Cisco. But thank you once again for the kind words. Thank you once again for... I don't know why this looks... I don't know why. It looks fuzzy. I don't know why. But I don't know how to fix that. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Thank you once again, Jonathan Lindsey, for the gifts and for your generosity. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.